All right, we're waiting on President Trump. He's expected to be commenting on America's health care situation just minutes from now. He's right now meeting with some victims of Obamacare. One will be also perhaps anticipating that he may say something on Jared Kushner, his son-in-law, who came out and spoke to the media today and spoke to members of the Senate Intel Committee behind closed doors. Meanwhile, also going on right now, we're watching shares of the nation's largest health insurers, which are, in some cases anyway, a few of them bouncing back a bit from earlier lows after the president criticized Republican efforts on health care, tweeting, and I quote, "Republicans have a last chance to do the right thing on repeal and replace after years of talking and campaigning on it." Meanwhile, U.S. markets are kind of mixed. The Dow, S&P in the red a touch. The NASDAQ has been looking higher, however. Joining me right now, Chase Chief Economist Anthony Chan, financial analyst Heather Zumarraga, and our very own Nicole Petallides. Anthony, I'll start with you. People still seem to think that there's going to be much in the way of policy coming out of this administration. How should you be approaching it right now as an investor? Do you still bet that it's going to happen?
I think that right now the fundamentals in the financial markets and the economy, the global economy, are very positive. And I think that if some policy comes out, that's icing on the cake. My suspicion is that something will occur in 2018. Right now, healthcare is very challenging. I think very few people would argue with that point.
But taxes?
Taxes, I think that's a 2018 situation. And meanwhile, healthcare stocks...
Although they're saying they're going to get it done this year. If they don't get it done this year, what happens to these markets?
Well, I think the financial markets are looking at profits. Healthcare stocks, for example, are the second best performing sector out there behind technology. If you look at the ETFs coming in around 17.5%.
So you're saying this upside has nothing to do, or not a whole lot to do, with the prospect of economic policy coming down the pipeline, and everything to do with just fundamentals, i.e. earnings and overall growth?
I think so far it's earnings, because if you've looked at policy, it's been one disappointment after the other. I think in 2018 that will turn around.
Well, if you're telling me this, it could be good news. I don't know if I entirely believe you, but if you're telling me this, Heather, then, hey, lo and behold, when you finally get tax reform, I think you're going to really unleash all those spirits if they haven't yet been unleashed already.
You're right. The fundamentals in the markets, Anthony said it, that's what's been propelling the market higher thus far, because we haven't had tax reform and healthcare repeal and replace happen yet. Earnings look really good. 73% have beat. That's the biggest earnings percent beat overall since 2008. All eyes are on technology sector this week. And if you think that might be overbought, then that's why the healthcare sector, second best performing sector year to date, has lower priced earnings multiples. And if you think something will get done in D.C., then that's where investors are looking to put more money. All right, Nicole, what are you hearing down on the floor?
Listen, it can't just be fundamentals that the market has run up to where we have. Not to discount that, because that's a very important point. I mean, we're partway through earnings season. This week is obviously a big one, with 36% of the S&P 500 companies reporting. You've had 70% of them roughly that have reported thus far. About 20% of the companies that reported, more than 70% of them have had earnings and revenue that have beat the analysts' expectations. So yes, fundamentals have improved. However, you have to say that a lot of people have been betting on a business-friendly administration, ideas of less spending from the government, tax cuts and the like, infrastructure plans. I mean, there's better trade deals. I mean, there's been so much invested into this market. Today, NASDAQ high, and we're looking at the 50th record close since the election.
I love it. 6,406. So, Anthony, though, you know, Nicole and Heather are pointing out, and I agree with them some here, there is some expectation built into this market. There is a down payment, if you would, on the future, in that investors are hoping and praying and expecting that they're going to get something from this White House in the way of policy. If they don't get it, how much do we sell off?
I don't think we sell off that much. We just don't go up as much. I think Nicole made a good point, and that is you've seen some elimination of regulation, and that's what I think is fueling healthcare, because what we're seeing is a White House that's saying we're trying to make it a lot easier for the healthcare sector. We're not focusing on trying to keep prices low. We're trying to lower regulation. That's positive.
Thanks to the whole team.